Democrats supporting an impeachment effort, this time from the Senate. Debbie Stabenow, the fourth-ranking Democrat, now backing the inquiry in the House. Michael Goodwin says that's a mistake. In the New York Post, Goodwin writes, Dems are obsessed with two things, impeachment and race. It won't help them win. Michael Goodwin's with me now in studio. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Bill.
Explain yourself.
Well, look, I think both of these things, impeachment and race, are great talking points. They energize parts of the Democratic Party's base, and many of the senior members, such as Stabenow, Jerry Nadler, Elijah Cummings, Adam Schiff, they're safe in this election. They have safe districts. But I think for the swing districts and for the House as a whole, that's what Nancy Pelosi is worried about, and that's why she has been very cautious on this issue of impeachment. I also believe that these two things are just words. They're emotional trigger words. But what about the historically low unemployment rate among African Americans and Latinos? What about the issues with Iran and North Korea? These words don't address anything that really gets to the heart of prosperity and security, which is the job of the president. That's why I think these things are really just kind of feel-good nostrums and anger words.
Do you think, Michael, that dominates debates 1 and 2 in Detroit this week? Or do you think some of these Democratic candidates would much rather talk about health care?
Right. Look, I think because of what the Baltimore situation between the president and Elijah Cummings, I think race will be topic number one. I think what we're going to see is a Democrat segue from Russia, Russia, Russia to a racist, racist, racist. I think that they are going to be stuck on these kinds of things. And I hope some candidates will say, let's talk about the things that affect people in their daily lives, whether it's health care, whether it's the economy, whether it's education, whether it's national security. But so far, I see that it really is, it's all about Donald Trump. It's all about hating Donald Trump. It's not about fixing the
So I mentioned Stabenow is the number 4 ranking Democrat in the Senate. Patty Murray is number 3, and she supports exactly what Stabenow says. Right. They both came out over the weekend together. Here's a quote from Stabenow, the Democrat from Michigan. The Mueller report is extremely serious. Obstruction of justice is extremely serious, and it's worthy of an inquiry. Nobody is above the law. The president's not above the law. End quote, Michael.
Well, the Mueller report was the inquiry. I mean, that was the whole point. For 2 years, Robert Mueller was going to have the keys to the kingdom. Not only was the report good for the president, but the hearing was a train wreck for the Democrats, the way Mueller could not articulate, would not articulate. And so you have Democrats stuck with the report that does not bring or suggest any criminal charges. It's hard for me to say how this isn't just a politically motivated opportunity to try to keep investigating, to find something that Mueller couldn't or wouldn't. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Mueller was the guy.
You just said Russia, Russia, Russia to racist, racist, racist. And in that sense, is the president drawing them into this conversation?
It's a very good suggestion, I think, that the president, one of his skills, maybe his best skill, is making his opponents so crazy that they do really stupid things. And I think bringing Bob Mueller to testify was a stupid thing. It backfired. If you go down this road of racist, 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 I think most people in the country are going to say, but what about those unemployment rates? What about the opportunities being created for generations of African Americans who have not prospered? And by the way, what is Elijah Cummings doing in Baltimore? What do the mayors have done in Chicago with the murder rates there and the murder rates in many of these cities? So I think the president has not, I think he's made a good argument. I don't think he's followed through, but I think that's also true because the Democrats will not work with him.
Last point on this, because you wrote about it, 108 Democrats out of 235 support impeachment. You're up to 12 Democrats out of 47 in the Senate.
Right. Look, the numbers nationally for the Democrats are good on impeachments. Roughly 2 out of 3 Democrats nationally support impeachment. So
as voters.
But within the party, I think you're still around 40 to 45% in the House. You're not even a majority of Democrats in the House. So I think that is going to be telling. I mean, is the needle going to significantly move? It really hasn't moved. It's inching up, but this is still a far cry. And then don't forget, of course, it's not going to get through the Senate. It's impossible at this point with 53 Republican senators, and you need 67 votes. The math doesn't come close. Again, Nancy Pelosi knows that.
Thank you, Michael. Good to see you. Michael Goodwin, the New York Post, New York
Thank you.
Fox. Thank you, Michael.